So, hey folks, how's it going? We're live. It's Wednesday. My t-shirt's slightly skew. That's better. Hope you've all had a good week so far. Halfway through the week. We've made it this far. First, welcome in, Jeffrey. You're in before the bot. Or the YouTube bot, at least. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Let's see, my stream previews are looking good. Let's make sure my alt registers is watching. Nice. Let's do some cross posting. Make sure people are aware I am live. So I should really let people know I'm streaming more often. I used to post in all kinds of Discords. At one stage, like, "Hey, I'm live," and like, barely got anybody coming to check me out from that. So it's kind of like a fruitless endeavour most of the time. Oh, that's a shame. I'm good. How are you doing? Drawing for the chapters. Chapter 2 is put back after angry email. Nice. Well done. Yeah, don't stand for these kind of things. I'm guessing a lot of times it's an automated thing, like maybe someone saw it or reported it, or maybe a bot scanned it and kind of flagged it. But then as soon as you kind of kick back at it and complain, a human will look and go, okay, yeah. They actually apply intelligence and go, yeah, it's not that graphic. Certainly in your art style, you don't go for ultra realism. You go for the stylized kind of anime kind of inspired. So yeah, certainly not. No, it literally was a human. I asked them why this one, since there are more violent episodes on the site, could my own comic. Oh. Because you killed an innocent grandma in this one, and the others were bad guys, criminals. Gangsters. Innocent grandma, read chapter 3. Yeah. Don't understand story progression. Well, I'm glad they put it back. Because that's the whole point of the story you're writing, is that you believe her to be the bad guy. Like, I know it's online and so things have different rules, but like if it was in print, you obviously have a lot more kind of leeway. Okay, let it pan out and sort of like the good guys aren't always the ones you think are good. The bad guys aren't always what you believe are bad. You see that in a lot of stories, though. There's a lot of stories where the twist is the person you have empathized with, the one you go, well, I want this person to win, and you go, oh no, I've been thinking this person's been not doing stuff to help others, but actually no, I've been rooting for the wrong person, and it makes you kind of feel weird about it in some ways. And I like stories like that because that means the writer has done a very good job of misleading your perception and kind of selling you the character, and sort of manipulating your opinions of this character, only for it to be twisted and go, that was only one side you saw, or you saw what they wanted you to see. In actual fact, they were doing other stuff. And likewise, yeah, you can flip it like the person you really hated, like this awful character that you just didn't like at all, actually turned out to be doing something good. They just kind of had to go along with things. And that's a good flip. You see, there's a lot of stories like that. It's a bit... the way it was done... It's a bit... the way it was done in this particular person you really hated, like this... Like... They go, well, here's the following reason why. And that's a proper story development. Not, oh, by the way, sort of, this person was good all along. And sort of, you go, well, that doesn't really fit the character. But yeah, you're far better writer than J.K. Rowling. Have I stopped streaming? What's going on? I'm still live? What's going on here? Why is my... Oh, I wonder why everything seemingly stopped. Failed to load module. What's going on? Hope that was a freak accident. I hope so. So, according to everything I'm seeing here, no, nothing's happened. I've not dropped any frames. Oh no, still, I dropped a lot of frames actually. I am still dropping frames. Am I? No, I must have dropped frames offline for 2 minutes, yeah. Yeah, I've dropped 994 frames. So that must have been something that happened there. So you missed my entire rant I was going on. I was halfway through a rant. I go, why you got a sad face for? And I checked my stream and oh, rant again. So I was talking about, hey Lisa, how's it going? Lurking, by the way, you lurk away, do your thing. I was ranting about character progression, like the flip of your perception of a character. So there's quite a lot of stories where the moral alignment of a character flips partway through the narrative. Where you go, oh, this person is a good guy, we should root for this person. And so you really sort of kind of cheering for them and go, well, I hope this person like saves the day and wins, and you find out actually no, they're not a really good person and they're hurting people. Oh yeah, it's clearly I was offline. Streamlabs has come back. Welcome back, all the bots. And yeah, you kind of go, oh, I feel weird about rooting for who I thought was the good guy. Like I feel kind of like bad about this, and go, well, they're so deceptive. But that's good story writing, like to be deceived in that way, to like realize that this character not only deceived the characters in the story, but deceived you as a viewer. And likewise, you have the opposite, where you think this character's so bad that why are they getting away with this? What's their motive for hurting people? And they're so evil. And then you realise actually they're doing something for good. And they weren't hurting good people. They were hurting bad people, such as your character. Now, saying that, the bad example of a character's moral alignment flipping mid-story is the Harry Potter series. Let's make sure my stream's still alive, because as soon as I mentioned that before, it seemed to crash. They're listening in. But no, the Harry Potter series, still alive. Awesome. I've not been shadow banned. Harry Potter series is an example of how to write a character alignment flip badly. Like, the progression of characters in that is just not great. The sort of taking what the characters you really don't like, and then all of a sudden they're good now, with no real kind of basis around it. Like, it's just kind of like very lazy writing. There's no hint, there's no kind of foreshadow, there's nothing to say maybe they are good but they look bad. It's just like, oh no, by the way, they were good all along. You go, what? No, there's nothing to indicate that. You've just decided that this character is now good. There's no redemption, there's no sort of hidden stuff along the way. So that's quite poor and lazy writing, but that's what you expect, really. Now, the characters are interesting characters to a degree. They're not amazing, they're not deep, but there's notable characters and people love them. But the writing, the narrative is not great overall. Whereas, yeah, you've gone for like instant shock, or like, oh my god, this character sort of is killing people. Why are they doing this? They must be like, it must be this kind of like evil possession they have from birth. And why do we need to witness all of this? Like, where is this story going? And then for you to kind of like, again, shock the reader back again. They go, well, you're now shocked because this character has fought their teachings to go against that and be something different. So that's quite strong writing, that is. But yeah, so many fought their teachings to go against that and be something. Come back. Am I back? It says frame dropped 0. I'm still live on YouTube, I think. Let's check my YouTube latency. Yeah, I'm still live on YouTube. That's good. Am I live on Twitch? I wonder if Twitch has got some outages. Was it me? Is it my internet that's having issues? But my PC's not doing anything. Not doing anything to do that. Hopefully you can see me live again. Yes, awesome. I might have to keep an eye on OBS. Thank you, bots, for coming back again. Yet again. Yeah, so yeah, it dropped a few frames suddenly. Like I'm not sure if you see on OBS. You have like a health, like a little signal bar, or like so many bars like on the phone. It went from like 5 green bars down to 1 red bar, and then to no bars, and then it went shot back up to green, all green bars again. So what is going on there then? Let's just do a quick down detector. Downdetector.co.uk. See what's having problems at the moment. Rainbow Six is a slight problem. Discord is a slight problem. Dead by Daylight. Interesting. Rainbow Six, Ubisoft, Discord, Dead by Daylight, Fortnite. All of those have had Twitter, PlayStation Network, Guild Wars, Xbox, For Honor, The Crew, The Division, Vinted, Cloudflare. It must have been a Cloudflare, because so many things online use Cloudflare. Having no Discord problems today. Now, literally, how long ago was this? Cloudflare had a problem at 7:30. But at 7:30, Cloudflare was having problems. And Cloudflare, if you're not aware, is like a backbone infrastructure for a lot of websites and web services. So they had a major issue about an hour ago. But I wonder if is it Restream? Is that, let's see if Restream has any issues. Restream.io? Is that not a? Maybe they don't. No, okay. They don't look after Restream.io. Twitch. No problems on Twitch. Twitch has barely had any issues. At most, there's 2 reports at 5 o'clock. 4 reports at 5 o'clock. So 4 people having issues at 5 o'clock, and that's about it. So Twitch is fine. It might be my internet, you know. Let's do a quick speed test. I don't want to get into the stream too much if I'm just going to keep disappearing. My internet download speed is as rapid as ever. Certainly no issues there, unless I am having intermittent connection issues and it just kind of drops out for a moment. Tell you what, let's get a ping going, and I'll know if it drops for a moment. 8 to me dot 8.8. I'll leave that ping running. So I'm pinging Google's main DNS server. So if I see that start getting latency issues, I know my connection's not great. Right, okay, we'll check. Keep an eye on that. As it is, my latency between my computer and Google's DNS server is anywhere between 15 milliseconds to 20 milliseconds, which is pretty rapid. It's doing well. Let's switch over to the main screen before the stream dies again. Right, I need to continue with this. This what I was going to do, I was going to get some music going. Got a deep bass jazz. Okay. That should just be in the background. Yeah, Google connection's looking alright. Let's turn it down here a little bit. I don't need it too loud. So pretty happy with that. I might try and smooth this bit out a bit. Let's go to sculpting mode. Okay, I think for the most part that's okay. I might have to readjust it anyway once I apply some things to it. Now, what we need to do a quick lookup for is stitching. So Blender, was it sewing? Sewing clothes in Blender. Okay, so sewing clothes in Blender is pretty much how you make clothes in real life. Is you have two shapes which you sew together, effectively. Which I'm going to have to do anyway. Is this your main character? I'm guessing MC main character? Yeah, this is a feminine representation of the character. You could be able to play as more masculine or feminine. Either that or Motorcycle Club, but I've put my money on the former, yeah. Yeah, so I'm picking out a more feminine kind of character because it could be harder to work on the feminine character, and then it'd be easier to translate it to male or masculine kind of characters. But ultimately, the player can choose if they want a more feminine or more masculine. But they're going to be 13 years old either way, so both masculine and feminine characters aren't going to be too dissimilar at that kind of age. So for story reasons, they're 13. Kind of the young protagonist. As well, I could make a motorcycle club in the game. There's places for that, I suppose. Okay, I'm just reading a quick discussion here on designing clothing in video games. And it's a whole thing itself. Like, making characters is something, making levels, everything else, mechanics. But to make clothing is a skill in itself. And there are people that are hired in game studios just for making clothing. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to apply the cloth modifier. And then hit play. I'm a bit weird around her thumb on that side for some reason. But we could probably fix that, I'm hoping. I think if you are just looking at a tutorial online, you can make t-shirts by making in the front of the t-shirt, the back of the t-shirt, and telling Blender to stitch across and down the shoulders and then stitch down the sides, and Blender will just attach the two together around the character, and you have a t-shirt which is just like you would in real life. You stitch the front and the back of the t-shirt together. But for this kind of, what do you call it? It's a cloak. So I want the cloak to like look like it's naturally draped over the character. In which case I need it to kind of like hang off the character. That. So apart from that thumb, I think that looks a bit better now it's hanging there. Well, she needs clothing underneath, but that's something in itself. For the ooh, cloth physics. Hey, Captain Krabs, how's it going, dude? It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm learning cloth physics. It seems to be very fun. I've had some very interesting accidents. But I'm enjoying it. How are you, dude? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Or as well as you can be. I know life can't. Oh, have I gone offline again? Hello, hello, 1 2 1 2. OBS is saying I'm still live. I can see myself on Twitch again. It's good. I'm back. Sorry about that. It didn't happen. Like, my ping to Google was consistent. I didn't lose any connection to Google. So it's not my internet. OBS dropped a lot of frames suddenly then. If I had any idea what's happening, I'd help. Yeah, that's fine. I have no clue. Yeah, literally no clue. The only thing I can go off right now is that OBS suddenly went no and then dropped all the frames. But my internet's stable. I'm pretty sure my PC is... yeah, at most I'm using 60% of the PC. No reason. Like, OBS is using a lot of my graphics card, which I expect it to. But I'll keep up my PC stats on my other screen as well. Just in case, you never know. But yeah, it's not my internet. Not my internet. But I do apologise. Sorry, folks. Welcome back. If had any problems there. Fortunately, my YouTube stream is still staying active, so it's not cutting me off completely. Because that's just a pain when you try and stream on YouTube as well. But yeah, sorry about that, Captain Krabs. Yeah, my beard is getting quite long. It's more of a hindrance in places, but I'm going to keep growing it as long as I can. I want to apply the cloth modifier. And we're going to sculpting mode. See if we can fix what's going on with the thumb here. There we go. We'll fix this sleeve as well. But yeah, I've been playing around the cloth modifier a little bit, kind of learning how to use it, how to get the best out of it. I'm probably going to need to smooth that a little bit. Now I could go full wizard, kind of cloak. Don't know really like that crease there, and chop and stitch. Have like big wizard sleeves. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to have it just as like a poncho style, or if I kind of like cut a triangle out of here. We cut like a triangle and kind of stitch together to make like a big baggy sleeve. I suppose I could look at some real world clothing for inspiration. It doesn't have to follow real world clothing kind of rules. It's the whole point of a fantasy game, so that it can I don't know that it could be kind of any clothing. Clothing doesn't have to exist. A lot of fantasy games come up with ideas for clothing within the context. Has that slipped down? It has a bit, hasn't it? Kind of slipping down the shoulder a little bit. You were pulling that back up. Still looking good. Fingers crossed it stays. I stay live and stuff. Yeah, the whole thing looks like it's shifted down my shoulder a little bit. I don't like that. Because I kind of wanted that. Let's we'll go back. Hey, the bots are caught up. Switch over to main camera for a second. I'm gonna save this as and I'll reload the original, because maybe I can do a better job of allowing it to fall. Alright, switch back over to the main screen. Now we've got Blender back up. Okay. So it was a little bit of lopsided anyway, but I want to try and make this section static and not move really. We go back into edit mode maybe? No, it's probably weight, isn't it? that looks pretty cool as even a texture colouring, but yeah, LGBT poncho. I want to give the player options for different colour ponchos anyway, so I'll probably put in a rainbow poncho. And if players want to wear that for any reason, it's up to them. There's probably going to be people complaining about it. Go, oh, you got rainbows. But if we don't kind of make it specifically, then they can't complain. More reason to do it, yeah. I found it funny. Yeah, fuck the bigots. I found it funny that so they had pride flags in Spider-Man 2, was it? And look, people went to the effort to make mods to try and mod out the pride flags. There's an effort putting into modding a game just to remove a non-gameplay element. So, do you really have that much time on your hands to go through all that extra effort? If you're going to mod a game, at least adds value. Yeah, this next project is going to be kind of LGBT representative, I suppose. I'm not going to purposely go, hey, this is all about rainbows. It's going to be, well, it's going to have all kinds of people. Because that is what life is. I'm not going to do token people, like this is a token representation. Well, this is just a person, they just happen to have a certain kind of alignment. Going very shower curtain. That looks better, to be honest. A slight angle going there. What's pin group? So let it settle a little bit more. I like the way it's hanging, I just don't like this at the top anymore. Even that around the wrists, it's not too bad. The sleeve is rolled up there, I don't know why it's done that. But yeah, I have so many people in my life that have come from all kind of backgrounds and all kind of communities, that for me to make a game not including those people, those kind of minorities of people, then sort of it's kind of blind of me to do so. But I've got plenty of real life experience to pull from. Same. I do have a hard time writing them. Yeah, I think the writing will be hard because you can only write from your own personal experience. And if you're not part of the culture or the minority directly, and you don't kind of, you're not involved with the experience and the feelings, it's hard to kind of put your head into that character. But I suppose at that point, if you really want to write a character, so finding somebody that knows that life, kind of like talking, okay, what are your experiences? That how would people in your community approach this? How would you handle it? What are your attitudes towards finding things? I want to make Abigail lesbian instead of straight in this one, but I'm afraid when you write lesbians as a straight man, it's difficult to not make them porn kind of lesbian. Yeah. So for now, I stay clear of all romance. Yeah, like the thing is, sort of the way I kind of see like lesbian type characters is that it's, from what friends who I have and I've witnessed kind of thing, it's no different from just any kind of romantic situations. Like, well, if you take their genders out of the equation, it's two human beings having a romantic relationship. There's obviously nuances depending on the genders of the people, but you don't need to write those nuances into a story. It's just person A loves person B, person A goes out, does things, person B does things, person A meets up with person B, they kiss each other, sit down, have a drink, talk about, person A talks about what they did, person B talks about what they did, and you just, there's no real difference in the dynamic to it. It's only really when you want to go down to the more intimate parts of their relationship, then yeah, it becomes kind of, from a straight male perspective, you only really see what you get, what is kind of I forgot what the word I'm looking for, like portrayed, I suppose. I've drawn her feet yesterday. Ah. Feet to me feel like a very hard thing to try and draw. Like hands are hard to draw. Feet even more so, I think. Because you can draw a shoe. You can draw a boot. They're kind of defined shapes. That's why a lot of like illustrators and like artists will draw people with gloves or things that hide a lot of the detail on their hands, or like boots on their feet. I've done some very difficult things for me, including realistic mirror scene. Oh yeah, mirrors I can imagine being quite hard because you're having to like draw the perspective and how the viewer is seeing. Yeah, try and keep the perspective good from two sides at the same time. Yeah, I struggle with like real life perspective. Anyway, like sort of how do you kind of put how you put an organic thing into a perspective? Like I can do shapes, like I can do a perspective of a shape. I can plot a building. I can make a street. I'm okay with doing that kind of stuff. But to draw a tree in perspective in a scene would be hard for me. And that's just a tree. To draw a human being in perspective, I can't even fathom that. I need to practice drawing more shapes with perspective. And then apply those shapes into what I'm trying to draw. I even tried asking AI. Let me tell you, AI fucked you up beyond recognition. So this is all me, my man, all me. But yeah, that's it. AI is great for a lot of things. For the kind of there's a lot of good stuff you can get out of AI, but it's not infallible. It doesn't give the detail that a human can do. No matter how many prompts you write. It'll never fully, because it doesn't understand. It doesn't understand human perspective. Send your panels I've done already. Okay, yeah, that'd be cool to see. Like at the moment, my level of artistry is 2D for drawing like organic stuff. Like if I was drawing a person, it'd be like a T-pose person, face on. To give them depth, I can't even fathom drawing a person standing there with depth to their image. But I can draw like a flat representation of a person. Roughly. I'm not great at that, but I can kind of do that. Busy on another mirror scene. Nice. But I bought it's not up here, but I bought one of those posable wooden dolls where you can move their limbs. So I bought one of those to help me understand kind of poses and stuff, and so I can kind of put the doll in its position and kind of sketch the doll and then apply the character onto the doll. At least I can then see the way the light hits the doll and kind of showing some of the shapes. So that's could be quite helpful. Also, don't mean to be a dick, but you're too late to get your cats in. Oh yes, sorry, I completely forgot. I only need detailing left on those two panels. There are feelings. Just like, yeah, I completely forgot. You know what I'm like. No, that if I was really kind of certain about having the cats in there, I would have sent them straight away. I would have liked it. Would be cool to put the cats in there, but it wasn't like, oh yes, I would love to have the cats in there. Let's do it now. But I was thinking about it. But it wasn't until you just mentioned it I went, oh yeah, I was going to send this. But yeah, easily distracted. I nearly didn't get in my my petrol money for work because that had to be handed in today. It was only because I was checking my emails like 10 minutes before my shift was due to finish. So I go, when do I have to send an email for my petrol this month? I went, oh God, yeah. The email says send it in by 5 o'clock today. It was 10 to 5. So quickly typed out all my miles that I did for work. Got that sent off. So I will get paid. We'll get paid hopefully for the miles I did. Because yeah, definitely by 5 o'clock today. The email was sent last week. So that's kind of what I'm like. It was sent last week and I only remembered to check the email today to find out exactly what date I needed to email it by. But if I forgot about that, I would have had to wait an extra month to get that petrol. And it was from July anyway. This petrol I used in July, but I used it too late to claim it in July because they typically want you to let them know how much petrol you've used by 2/3 of the way through the month, and then they'll total it up and then you get paid at the end of the month your petrol and your monthly pay. But because I drove my car for work purposes towards the end of the month, I was too late to actually get it in, so I've had to wait a month for it anyway. So I would have had to wait 2 months. So yeah, always best to do things as soon as you can. I'll see if I can tidy this up, see how it looks. We'll apply it. And we'll go to sculpt mode. Oh, we could curve it a little bit. That's quite cool. You ever thought about trying Blender yourself, Jeffrey? Or are you quite happy with your 2D art mediums for now? I see you've sent a message. I'll quickly check that in a sec. Thought about yes, but require more skill learning. I'm already drowning music and comic. Yeah. You're doing a lot of cool stuff as it is. Music is amazing. I was listening to your entire album play on YouTube on the drive home last night. It's about 25 minutes drive from Nix's place to mine, so I've got 25 minutes of Cult Step. So whacked it, turned the dial right up in my car, driving like 10:30 at night. That doesn't look too bad. I quite like that neckline. Once I get a little bit better at Blender, I can certainly help you with 3D stuff. Right now, it'll be kind of blind leading blind. Not really worth trying to pass on any skills to anybody. I can certainly help people get to my level, but you're literally taking one step up from not knowing anything. These first 3 pages are only ones that are 100% done, but will be finished tomorrow. Nice. Nice. Seribot banned an auto spammer there. In Dutch we say, in the country of blind, one eye is king. Nice. That sounds a much cooler phrase. Yeah, we say blind leading blind. So that, okay, I'll show you the way, but I can't see anyway. You know what, I think I am quite happy with that. It means if everyone has 0 skill, even the person with 1% skill will lead. That's a much nicer phrase then. Because blind leading blind means nobody has skill. Whereas, yeah, country of blind, one eye is king is kind of suggesting, well, it's better to have some skill. So you do with some practice will be so you with some practice will be one-eyed king, yeah. I'll be the blind, yeah. Oh well, both need glasses. Yeah. No, I'm not too fussed about that crease. That gives it character. It's not unrealistic, it's not ugly. But I'm quite happy with that. Not so happy with that crease there though. I switched Windows to Mac in the last 30 seconds. Have you seen panels yet? No, let's click on now. No rushing, just when I miss your comments. That's okay. Ooh, okay. Oh wow. I like the shadowing. Like, you really give the characters shape. And the feet look extremely accurate. That's a little neon bat light on the wall. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, shadowing of the hair as well on her back. Again, it gives it the idea that the hair is off, like away from the skin. And the tap, even the tap looks cool. Yeah, they're awesome. And yeah, to get that mirror to look kind of convincing as well. And the thing is, to a certain degree, like mirrors in like art and media can be manipulated to show what you want the viewer to see anyway. They don't have to be 100% accurate, but like looking into the mirror, you want to see her face. You want to see what she's doing. So the way the scene's set up is that you see her back looking towards the mirror, and you see her staring back. So even if it's not 100%, you're still showing the viewer, the reader, what you want to show. I want to see what I did when I asked add a mirror to this. It gave up after one try. Never mind, I deleted it. Okay. Can't find it anymore. Nah, don't blame me. But it just copied the pic. Yeah. So you don't see the face. I love the cat. Just back of the head twice. Yeah, still got a long way to go. Aussie, I thought it might have been Aussie. Yeah, it's the fur coming off. That's very cool. Ooh. I've just finished drinking the coffee. Why am I yawning? Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way that's hanging. I'll try and find some pics in your disc. I do like to have your cats in here. I'll pick them out and Comic Promises will be able to draw them. That's fair, yeah. Like I can post some more pics. I've got them on my phone. Where's my phone now? I got loads of pics on my phone. I just forgot to send them. Apparently yesterday with chapter 2 gone, I mean chapter 3 gone. Sucks. Chapter 2 gone, massive gap in readers. That would be like, fuck this shit, yeah. Yeah, so I'll just do a massive animal dump, not animal dump of animal pictures. I got the help from a great writer, one of my favourite webtoon writers. Millions of views on TikTok for a comic, hundreds of comics, 100,000 webtoon reads across the 2 comics. Out in your day through Discord DMs. Nice. That's awesome. Let's go dump a load of pictures of Damien. Yeah, no, that's not as good to see that one. There's another one of his. Met her in the Webtoon server, which was always very helpful and active, and now it was like died down more than a year. So all I could do was DM her and be like, I always loved how helpful you are in the fun of your comic. You mind helping me in private? Nice. There's one other picture of Damien. Might be a couple of weeks old. Where's the one I want to send? I found a few in the meantime, but there's one more. Where was it? Was it really that long ago? I don't think it was this long ago. No. If I find it, I'll send it another time. Send a load of pictures of Damien in my Discord now. Most of him just sleeping different places. So that's all he tends to do. And there's one picture of Salem. The thing is that Nyx's cats are mainly just your typical sleek black cat. They have slightly different face shapes, but I'm going to do the lazy NPC thing, by the way. You see it in more comics. Just silhouettes of non-main characters. Yeah, makes sense. Cool, that's enough of looking at my phone. Yeah, I dumped a load of pictures of Damien. Yeah, I've been taking photos of him for like ever anyway, so just forgot to send them to you. I do that a lot of things, like, oh, I'll take a photo of this and send it to a certain person. Yeah. Set his strength down. Don't want it to flatten it quite as much. Still want to have a slide wrinkle. Is it intersecting there? I don't think it is. So anything when it kind of curls like this, I don't want it to intersect the other bits of fabric. But I like the way it kind of like bunches like that. That's pretty cool. Right, I'm going to save that as a different one, so I can go back if I need to. But that writer also said liked your art style improved massively since chapter 2 and very massively since Empire of Tomorrow, and even those weren't seen as bad. Nice. There you have, like your skill level is just kind of ramped up. Like Empire of Tomorrow wasn't bad, but then you've got so much more kind of depth to your scenes and your characters. Like the colours are looking better, the textures, like everything just is improved. Right, so that's saved There's an underscore B up there now. So I can go back to my previous version if I need to. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. So we could really do with giving her something on the lower side. The alternative would be to extend this kind of clothing down to the floor and make it kind of like a long cloak. I would like to put a hood on this, like kind of like a droopy hood. I suppose I can make the hood and then stitch it onto this. Let's give that a go. Let's go back to be right back, dog walking time, okie dokie. See you shortly. Same for me, okie dokie, see you both. I could do the same thing, is just hang a piece of fabric, apply cloth physics, and let it fall over her head, and then kind of shape it to kind of match the hood. Let's do that then. There might be other ways of doing it, but no, I'm still uncertain if I want to stitch, cut a triangle and stitch together. So it's kind of like a very sweepy, kind of like wizard's cloak kind of thing. And equally, if that's the case, do I want it to be open at the front and kind of like tied with like a chain, as you sometimes see? Or do I want the front of it completely closed? The thing is, I've done no concept art for this, so I don't even know what I want them to look like. So I'm kind of freehanding this entire thing, because with my current skill level, I could design a really cool looking character on paper and then struggle to replicate it in Blender. Obviously it'll give me opportunity to expand my skills and go, okay, let's learn how to do that. But if I come up with a basic on the fly concept, I can then look at that and go, ooh, based on that I can then re-sketch the character, make a concept from my 3D model to then give it detail and then see if I can add that detail back onto it. I know for the basics, like any kind of concept I've had for the main character, it's just been indescript person wearing long drapey clothing with a hood. That's basically makes them very generic. Like, I'm not saying the main character has to look a certain way. The player can still go, actually, I would like them to have long hair or short hair or different coloured hair. Like, you won't necessarily see that in that much detail because the clothing will hide a lot of their features in the concept art and stuff. Ooh. So this is mainly making this character design appear for promotional material. So it won't be the final design anyway, but I can refine the way this character looks. I just want a the very least say an accurate prototype of the character, I suppose. To go, well, this is roughly what the character will look like. It's the first iteration. And I can go away and then do some designs and just kind of understand where my limits are, because being the first proper planned project, that's something to say with a mouthful. That's going to be way too big. Yeah, being the first proper planned project, I do want it to work, and I don't want to overestimate my ability. Probably shrink that circle a little bit more. Probably get away with making it even smaller. Definitely no smaller than that. So we can trim that. Let's look at positioning, because we want it to sit above her head. That needs to come back a little bit there, because her head is slightly off the line there. Okay, so we don't want to just want to give it a face in there now. Let's go to edit mode. Let's save that there. Go to physics, give it a cloth modifier. And out of interest, how does it look without me changing anything? Yeah, we're going to change some stuff. Bring tension right down. I think I'm going to subdivide it really, aren't I? That's what I'm missing. No, I've got to work unless I subdivide it. What I actually need to do is slice it up, don't I? Loop tools. Is it good with that? Split. Split off the selected geometry from the connector. Oh, useful thing, not used that before. Shear selected items along the horizontal screen axis. Ooh, funky. I basically want to the alternative is I'll just make a sphere and drop the sphere over it instead. So I'm doing a lot of extra work here, I don't feel I need to do. Let's delete that. Let's create a sphere overhead. Cool, I'll probably chop that sphere in half. Let's line it up with that. Let's do a subdivide. Should be sufficient. Cool. Now with a dome floating above our head. save on that. And see what we get. Certainly a look if you're going for like a standard lamp, maybe. Or wearing a giant Ferrero Rocher cup. Probably needs to be set a little bit further back so when it falls on her head, it hangs off the back a bit more. It's kind of like a bonnet, I suppose. Not quite what I was after. Maybe I need to make it bigger and subdivide it a little bit more. Because I don't think I've got quite enough to work with there. Kind of like it though, but not quite what I'm after. So back to edit mode. Subdivide. And then go to resize it. Yeah, bigger there. Kind of. I always find it weird how it concertines itself like this. Maybe I need to subdivide it a bit more. I don't want to have it too many vertices though, you see. Maybe I need to change the tension a bit more. This does look quite tense. Bring this tension right down. Don't want it to shear too much. More like a headscarf now. See if it relaxes out a bit. Let's go back and so I don't want it to intersect really. Collisions. Don't really have a lot of friction going on. Okay, so hit save there. Really didn't know what's happened there. I'm back. Welcome back. Don't like the way it's kind of folded in on our eyes there. Let's see if there's any better settings we can. Just let's tweak a little bit so it's just dampen it a little bit. A little bit of bending resistance there. Ah, that's not bad. Obviously smooth off the crown a little bit there, but closer to what I'm after. Tell you what, let's apply that. We'll do another save as. Save as C. And we'll now sculpt I'm quite happy with that. I can probably do with stitching these two meshes together now, so there's stitching along there maybe. Cool. Go ahead, save on that. Just watching a quick video of how to stitch faces together. Cloth simulation to the shirt, enable sewing and self-collision. Increase the quality steps and collision quality. The self-collision's distance should be very low. You've got a shrink modifier. Cloth simulation again after animating the armature. Okay. That's within one mesh though. I suppose I need to combine the meshes. Searching out. So Blender stitch vertices. I suppose I can merge the vertices and that'll stick them together. Okay, that's one option. Okay, I'm going to combine these to one mesh then. Combine them to one mesh and then try to get to merge the vertices. Merge objects. You can either join them and use the Boolean operation. Joining objects. Control J combines them into a single object, but their geometry remains separate. Boolean operations modifies Boolean, allow you to combine, subtract. Okay, so I can Boolean. Okay, let's try a Boolean modifier. How's he done that? Use the mesh object as the operand. Use a collection of mesh objects. So it's definitely that object. Delete that circle, don't need that. Rename it hood. fly. Okay, so is that... I like this music. Awesome. It's does it actually have any... Oh, what is the actual song playing now? It says repeat, so I'm assuming it's the same as the start. So what are we on now? 1 hour 35. So it's 3 minutes in. So maybe it's Midnight Ashes? It says, yeah. It's a song called Midnight Ashes. Don't know who it's by though. Unless it is by the YouTube channel, but it's just Noir Jazz Cats. Almost done with the detailing of 2 more pages. I'll send those as well. Awesome. Weird position to be in. Inside someone's head. It's back. Welcome back, Lisa. Hey, sell emotes. Sell the best emotes. There they are. With all the frowny faces and the pandas. Do you have like a macro to post all those, or do you end up just clicking them? I'll end up having something on my stream deck that throws a panda up like that. Something like those macros. I'm undecided how I want to join. I'd like that HUD to join on there. I sell nudes. Both my own and from others. A bit of a nude broker. Yes, you want? No, I'm okay for now. The thing is with the new UK kind of content laws, you have to like prove your age before you can look at anything potentially deemed adult. There's gonna be a lot more black market kind of stuff, I suppose. Believe me, 1 meter long beard makes sure no one afraid of you. Not afraid you're a minor, no. Yeah, the amount of services I've had to verify my face. At Reddit, if I want to look at a an 18 plus themed Reddit post, there's any content that might be deemed inappropriate for a child, I have to like switch my webcam on and just look into the webcam, and the bot goes, yeah, you're old enough. No questions asked. I have to do it with Discord as well, I think. To actually look at the NSFW Discord channels, can't look at those without a bot in Discord take a photo of my face and go, yeah, you look old. It's a little bit bumpy there. I could probably do with smoothing that out. So I posted once on Facebook or Reddit where someone infiltrated a racist Discord server and you had to send a picture of your skin. Oh wow. The bot would tell you, yeah, you're in. Wow. Yeah, that's bad. I would try myself. That's read about it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think any of. I'm not sure if any of the European countries are like it, but like any service that's being used in the UK has to comply with UK law now to check users look old enough. Like, you either take a photo of your passport and send it in, or you let a bot scan your face and it kind of determines your age by your face, which is fine if you look old like I do. But if you're like Nix and you look sort of not even old enough to kind of drive, let alone sort of be on sort of anything sensitive content, then yeah, the bots will go, nope, you're a child. So it's quite discriminative towards younger looking people despite their age. But it seems to be the quickest way they can do it. They're not going to get people to check pictures. Now, what do I do? Because I like the way that's hanging, but I suppose ideally that needs to kind of stick to the back there. I don't really want it to just, I don't want to just move the vertices in. Suppose I could. Yeah, it's going to affect all of it. I suppose you would want it to be stitched from just past the shoulder, because it's not going to be a lot of like hooded sort of clothing is kind of stitched to the collar, and if it's wide, then the collar is wide. So we consider this collar. This hood would have to come down in line and meet with the collar. But part of me likes how wide the hood is, like it coming down like this. With it coming down like that, I would have to open the collar up to the shoulder. So the collar would be out here, and that's too wide for a collar. But maybe the hood is too wide. Maybe the hood does need to come in a bit more. Or I just try and attach it at the back here, so it's not actually attached by the shoulder, it's attached behind the shoulder, and if it were to drape off, it would hang behind rather than off the collar like a hoodie would, and it should allow it to drape a bit more. which means, yeah, it was attached just here and not attach in here. Because otherwise I would have to bring that down in. Yeah, see if I can attach it from the back of the shoulder here. Just because that's where it's closest, because it's, I guess, to the closest point there, and the same on this side. So I could try and bring this in so it starts touching the let's have a quick look. Blender. Select all connected vertices. Control L. So it's linked stuff. Control L. Cool, that's the bit I wanted. Let's bring the model back in. Yeah, so her head's not poking out for the top of it, which is good. Let's try sculpting. What have we got there? Yeah, that seems to work. So merge vertices by distance. Let's go back into Scott. Let's do another merge. That looks pretty good, I like that. Just need to go back into sculpting and smooth off this bit here. Oops, what's going on there? I'm not sure about these bits here, to be honest. A weird thing going that side is there. It's time. Oh, it's getting quite late. Let's put the character back in there. Definitely need to clean this up a little bit. Not sure what's going on there. Manually move some of these vertices. Yeah, still a bit of a shoddy merging there, but we'll stick with that for tonight, I think. Oh, it's got a bit of colour in there now. So some vertex painting. Let's hide her body and then detailing these two. Ooh, let's have a look. Oh wow, yeah. I love the detail and the lacing in the boot there. That's awesome. And then the texture on the floorboards as well. And that little side cabinet by the door. Lots of detail going on here. Those are stock, not gonna lie. Okay. That's fair. But it looks in keeping. Looks in keeping with everything else. Nice. The flooring, I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, it fits the art style. But everything else has got so much detail anyway. It works. And I love the cityscape as well, going for like quite traditional buildings with the futuristic kind of elements in the background. Yeah, my idea city is a Victorian Goth cyberpunk mix. Makes it unique, yeah. I love the blend. And yeah, I like sort of you got the shadow silhouettes of unimportant background characters. Just say, well, this is a populated city. It's just we don't need to know who these people are. It's not important. Nice. Good work. Oh shit. What's up? I did save me trying AI give me a mirror for the putting on the shirt one. Wanna see? Sure. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to change the intensity of this light. Keep in mind I had already drawn her myself in the way I just showed you, just without the mirror. So they even changed shit without asking. Oh. So have a look. Oh. Yeah, that's well, yeah, that's weird. Strange stuff going on there. I suppose if it at least got some of it right, you could then use that for tracing purposes. I also asked her twice because I told me we do not help with creating art that promotes suicide. And I'm not joking. What? I told it, what are you on about? It said she covers her face so she's suffocating herself. What? What bizarre. I literally told it, no, she just not a nudist. She likes to have shirt on, in caps. And he says, okay, we're going to fix this, and then send me that abomination. It's like, there's no lazy ways for mirrors, just, yeah. How do we combine these two together? Oh, by the way, as I told you, from time to time I ask some help, but 90% is me, right? Yeah. What even is this place? Clearly it's a 3D photo somewhere. Last chapter I barely had help, showed you one panel. After that, it was so amazingly strict. I wanted Abigail on the roof. Again, we do not support suicide. So I'm like, she not suicidal. Combat always forbidden, you can see from chapter. Mostly impossible, yeah. Okay, that's quite handy to actually see through things. Oh, she's floating. She's 13, see-through clothing illegal. Yeah, don't know why it doesn't show me the vertex painting at the same time as the model. Those eyes are quite scary though. It's not sure if they're the kind of eyes I want on the character, so I might have to change that. Honest man, I say to support you, but she scares me. Yeah, model's a bit cursed. Yeah, like it's the first. This is the first time you're witnessing the first time that I've actually switched the colour on for this model. Like, I was expecting the eyes not to be quite. Like it's supposed to be like a friendly, approachable kind of character. Cocaine eyes. She's seen things that you wouldn't believe. The detail of this model, though, it's got the tear ducts as well. It's not friendly and approachable. No. Yeah, I'm gonna have to modify. Yes, those don't help. Yeah, like if I'm gonna use this model, I'm gonna have to modify the eyes. Like, she will kill you for a bit of crack. Yeah, that is. Maybe I need to like lower the eyelid a little bit so she's not so stare at you. All jokes aside, you 1,000 times better than anything I could do in this program. Yeah, like this model, I didn't make the model. Like, she's just a free model, but the clothing's what I've done. But yeah, I need to change. Probably make the iris smaller, and probably shrink the iris. Like bigger eyes is kind of typical of like anime style, but not massive irises. I feel like I do need to put on more details in one where she walks out the door. Maybe opposed to some decor. Yeah, just kind of, because it's almost like it could be like the fire escape of a building. It's like it's a functional hall and not a home. If that makes sense. You can make like white lightning balls in the eyes. Ooh, yeah. Also saw a mistake in the lacing and the boots panel. I didn't see anything. Maybe that makes it less cursed, yeah. What was one I forget? She paints her nails. But it's not in my system. Yeah, I think I'll shrink that to be more human-like. So go to there. Got a tier line. Got a tier line actually on here. Take the eyebrows away. This is probably going to be freaky. There you go, just got floating eyeballs now. So remove those two, and it's literally just the eyeball. Is that a texture? If that's a texture, I'd have to modify the entire texture. Well, the actual shape of the eyeball is accurate as well. In fact, it kind of comes out. Oops, see new panel there. Painted nails. Ah. Awesome. Right, it's 11 o'clock here. I shall have to deal with the eyeballs next time. SpongeBob eyes, yeah. I can't way too much fun with that. But yeah, I will. I'll work on getting some texture onto the cloak. And I've noticed a slight defect in the mesh at the back there, which I'll have to fix. And I'll sort these eyes out because those are that. To be cartoony, it needs to be bigger eyes, but it's definitely not that big. Blep. But the fact this model has a tongue, teeth, so you can actually do a full kind of like speech animation. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll work on that next week. Switch over the camera. But I'm quite happy with what I've done so far with that. Needs a little bit of tidying up still, but I'm learning as I go. So next stream will be on. Will be on Friday. Yeah, will this be Friday? So next Friday won't be a stream, but this coming Friday there will be. Cool, cool. And this is a bank holiday on Monday, so I don't know what I'm up to on Monday. If nothing's happening, it'll be just a regular Monday, but being a bank holiday, I'm not working, so I'm not sure what Nix is up to either. So we'll work it out and we'll let you know. But yeah, certainly next stream on Friday, do some Unity stuff. Cool, cool. Stream was epic as always. Alright. If I have nightmares from your eyeball model, I will send you angry messages in the morning. No doubt. Have a good night. See you Friday. Yes, indeed. Thank you both for being here. It's good to chat as always. Hope you have a good rest. It's past midnight for you guys. So rest well. Have a good week. And I shall see you all on Friday. I hope you have a good night. Good night.